This is the third section of your film underscoring project, and today we're going to look at a number of different things. We're going to start as usual by looking at the section of the film that we're going to be setting today. So here is the video. You've seen the beginning of this video several times now. The beginning where you put in the melody using the 5 notes called pentatonic, and then the next section which you did last lesson where we added chromatic scales for that bit where Dumbledore was walking, and now this is the point where we see his deluminator for the first time, the deluminator where he puts the lights out. So we're going to watch this and we're going to look particularly for the sounds that are used when the lights turn off. And that's the section we're working on today. For the optional task, you can listen to the music in the background, but for the core task, we're just working on the sound effects for those 5 lights as they're turned off. And in the soundtrack, those are what is called Mickey Mouse, because the sound in the music exactly copies the action on the screen, and that's what we're going to be looking how to do. So, to do this, first up, you need to work out where those points are in the video. Now I've already done this and I'll show you what they are in a moment. Okay, so we're going to go back into BandLab. We're going to open this in the mix editor like we usually do, and then it will load up your work. So we should find when we open it, if we close the assignment brief down, that we've got the first week's work there where you created your tune with the part that I'd already recorded, and then last lesson you put in your chromatic scales, which means today's section is going to start at number 14. Okay, but I'm going to go into this lyrics tab here and look here. So this is section 3, the one we're working on today, and I'm just going to put in the timings in here so that you can have these as well. So we need one at 47 seconds, one at 50 seconds, one at 54 seconds, one at 57 seconds, and the last one at 1 minute and 2 seconds. So those are the times that we need to put these in, and we're going to put these in one at a time. Okay, so we're looking, the first one is at 47. I'm going to make my screen bigger so you can see all of it at the same time. You might need to close this down in between doing each one, just so you've got enough space to see what's going on. So, if we look at this, we can see up here that we're currently at 39 seconds. To find out where 47 seconds is, that's my first one, I just need to drag the cursor along. You can see it's quite a fair way along. It's just about there. Nearly got it. There we go. It's in between the 16 and the 17. So that means today we're going to start recording at the 16. We're going to record on this second track here, the same one we used the first lesson. Okay, and today we're going to learn a new thing to play. We've played chords quite often, so you're familiar with playing chords that are like C, E and G and playing them together like this. Okay, but today we're going to be using chords that are called clusters. And they're called clusters because they use notes that are very, very close together. So like when you eat clusters in your cereal, that's things that are stuck together in blobs, and chord clusters are the same. We take notes and we use them together in blobs. Okay, so my first cluster is going to consist of the notes C and C sharp, which are Z and S, but also the notes D sharp and E, which are D and C. So I'm using these 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm going to play them all at the same time like this. Now sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the settings inside your laptop or computer. So I'll show you how to record it first, and then if that doesn't work I'll show you another way of putting it in. Okay? So when I press record, it will give me a count in, but I'm not going to play exactly when it gets to the 16. I'm going to watch this here and play when it gets to the number 47. Okay? So I'm going to press record and have a go at this. It's going past and I'm going to stop it again. Now, it didn't sound particularly amazing, so I'm going to double click it and see what it actually heard. Okay, and you can see that it's actually only heard 2 of those notes. Okay, now you might find that yours records all 4 without any trouble at all, but if it doesn't, this is how we fix it. We get our pencil here. We make sure we're right up close to the keyboard so we can see exactly what notes we're doing. Now I said I was going to play C and C sharp, so the C's there, but there's no C sharp. That's putting a much longer note that I need, so I'm just going to grab the end of it and bring it in so it's the same length as the others. And then I said I was going to play D sharp and E. Now I haven't got any of those notes, so I'm going to put that one in and this one. You'll notice that once I've changed the length once, it keeps it for the other notes that I've got. So now I'm going to have a listen by pressing play and listening to it when it gets there to what I've got. Now you should be able to hear there's quite a lot of echo on there. That's because I've set this track up with quite a lot of reverb already, and that's what makes that effect. Okay, so that's my first one. I'm going to listen to it one more time and just check that it comes at about number 47 here. Okay, we can see that it's a little bit late, can't we? So let's go back here. Oops. Bar 16, where's it gone? There it is, look. I can put the cursor on that and I can see that it's at 47.6. I'm going to get my arrow back. I'm going to highlight them all. Now some people had trouble dragging their things last time. So make sure if you want to drag something that you highlighted everything. And then when you want to drag it, you click on one of the notes. It doesn't matter which one, but make sure you've got an arrow. And then you click it and hold it. Nope, that hasn't worked that time. We're going to try that again. Okay, it's not really in the mood. There we go. Is that going to move? That is not going to move. That is being particularly irritating. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make one of my notes longer. I'm going to copy them, because this time I can grab them. There they are, look, and they're going to move. Fantastic. Okay, and I'm trying to get them exactly on 47. So, is that exactly on 47? No, that's 47.3. Back another one. Is that 47? That's the closest one I've got. So that's where I'm going to leave them. I'm just going to click off and make this note shorter again. Okay. So what I did there was to make it easier to do. I made that note longer. The other way to do that is at the end here we've got our plus and minus, so we could have zoomed in and made the notes bigger that way. Okay. So I've got a cluster. I've actually ended up with 5 notes there because of what happened. And that's my first cluster. I'm going to record each one the same way, so I'm going to show you the second one as well. But each time, rather than using the same notes, so I use notes around here the first time, for the second one I'm going to use notes around here so that each one gets higher in pitch. Okay, so looking at the instructions again, here they are. We've done the one at 47. It's now time for the one at 0.50. So I'm just going to play this and see where 50 comes. There it is, and it's halfway between 17 and 18. So this time I'm going to start recording at 17. Okay, I'm going to try and play the notes D sharp and E along with F and F sharp, which should sound like this if they all play at the same time. They're not all playing at the same time, but I'll try it again. So I'm recording here and I'm trying to play at exactly 50. Here we go. So waiting for that 50. There it is. So I'm going to go through the same procedure again. I'm going to double click it to open that screen. Here it is. This is the one I'm doing. And I've managed to get, if we scroll up here to look near the keyboard, I've managed to get my E. I'm going to zoom in. There it is. I've managed to get my E, my F and my F sharp. So I'm only missing one note. I'm going to get my pencil and put it in. It was a D sharp I was missing. That's not quite in the right place. So I'm going to get my arrow. I'm going to shift it so it's in the right place. Oh. Okay, it doesn't want to do that. So we'll leave it for now. Okay, what we might do is quantize all of them because that will put them all together. There we go. Doesn't matter if some are a bit longer than others because the sound's carrying on anyway because of that reverb. Next thing is to play it and check that it's on number 50. So let's have a look. It's not too bad. 50.3. We could try and move it backwards 1. Okay. Maybe to there and see what that looks like. That's better, 50.1. And now I've got these two different sounds in the right places. Here's the first one, and here's the second one. Okay. Now what you might find is as you get further up you want to use more notes, or you want to use more of a mixture of notes, and that's up to you. So we're going to have 5 of these put in the correct locations. Remember the locations, you're going to write them in down here. Okay, that won't be written in yours, so you will need to type that in. 47, 50, 54, 57 and 1.02. Okay, so that is the core part of today's lesson, is to put in those chords to match when Dumbledore is using the Deluminator. For those of you who are trying the optional tasks as well, one of the things that you can do very, very easily is the drone, because you can use the same drone we had at the beginning of the piece. Here it is. So I can grab it, I can press Control C or Command C if I'm on a Mac to copy it, and then I can put it here so that it carries on, or maybe even here, so it carries on underneath those chromatic scales as they finish. So I'm going to paste it. Okay, now this is asking if I want to paste the automation data, that's the volume. Okay, I'm going to go don't paste for now, but then I'm going to turn my automation on. It's on fairly quietly, but in this section I want it even quieter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot before it and a dot there, and I'm going to bring it right down. So now when I turn it off we should hear the chromatic scales. And then my drone is going to come in here. And there it is in the background. And then we're going to hear our Deluminator sounds. And that starts giving back. There are other things in the background as well, but if you're doing the optional task you can start to add other parts in as well. But we're looking particularly for those 5 Deluminator sounds, and the next thing, as it says here in the instructions, is that quiet drone part. Have a go, see how you get on. I look forward to seeing your work. Thank you very much.